for those of you listening on the pod.
Welcome into hour two. Let's shift gears here, guys, and jump over to a little Josh Simmons talk, a little offensive line talk. And the reason I bring this up, look, I'm not like crazy about Josh Simmons. I'll tell you where he's at on our board, obviously. As we look at the board here, Josh Simmons is currently where are you at, sir? Because it has shifted a little bit since I wrote this article. Where are you at, Josh Simmons? I know you're a tackle, sir. Oh, he's in the 24 spot, so he's right there in the wheelhouse, right? Captain at Ohio State, athletic threshold. Packers met with him earlier in the process, I think at the Combine, if I remember correctly, and they had him in for a top 30 visit. So, I mean, he's that's pretty the only thing he's missing is Senior Bowl, or he'd be in the gold bar, right? And again, just because he wasn't at Senior Bowl don't mean they won't draft him, but they do like their Senior Bowl guys. So, of all the
red box next to him, though, right?
What's that?
We've got the red box next to him, though, correct?
Correct, but it sounds like he's good to go.
He's good? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to remove the red box until we get to the draft.
I pay like extra close attention to ACL with dudes like that because that's a big beast of a man right there. That's a lot of weight on them knees.
Definitely. Jacob said that a time or two at the office. Anyway, we go. So the one offensive lineman that's emerged as a Packer favorite. All right. So I said with the draft only 10 days away, obviously it's a few days ago, and several more top 30 visits to take place. The Packers have had only one in-house for a top 30 visit. Let's see what Dane Brugler had to say about Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. So he had him listed at 6'5", 317. Okay, 4-year junior. 2-year starter at Ohio State. Simmons lined up at left tackle in former offensive coordinator Chip Kelly's diverse run game, gap/zone, pin and pulls, counters. That sound familiar, boys? After 2 seasons at San Diego State, he transferred to Columbus and blossomed while moving from right tackle to left tackle the past 2 seasons. So we got swing tackle possibilities there. Simmons was on pace for the first 5 games of the season to be an All-American and looked like a strong contender for offensive tackle 1 in the draft class. But he suffered a non-contact knee injury in mid-October, which sidelined him for the rest of the season. Simmons explodes out of his stance in pass protection, and plays with knee bend, balance, and calmness to govern his movements. Shoots his hands and stays square to pass rushers. He isn't an overpowering mauler in the run game, but Kelly's offense highlighted Simmons' range when executing pulls, reaches, traps, etc. Overall, Simmons is a nimble, coordinated pass protector with tremendous athletic poise and the body control of a long-term starting left tackle in the NFL. His pro projection hinges on his medical feedback, so he has a first to second round grade on him. Here are the strengths: light-footed and lateral slides with good size and length. Took big step between 2023 and 24 season with efficiency, getting out of his stance. Maintains wide base with terrific body fluidity. Shows terrific pacing to stay centered both on the move and once engaged. Patient yet direct with hands and pass pro to land accurate punches and stay connected. Able to rework or chop hands to regain leverage. Terrific when working in tandem to stymie stunts in games. Redirects well as a run blocker to wall off lanes. Works in different snatch and slingshot techniques. Range jumps out on run pulls. Often reaches landmarks 1 step before the defender. That's what you love to hear, especially with duo. Penalized just once in 6 starts in 2024. It was a false start versus Oregon. I wonder if that was at Eugene. It might have been at Eugene. Experienced at both left tackle and right tackle. And as weaknesses are, you see this list of strengths, and there's a far fewer lists of weaknesses. Needs to continue developing anchor to settle down after giving ground to bull rushes. Occasionally caught oversetting. Initial hand work needs to be better in the run game. Not a true people mover once he latches. Non-contact patella injury in the left knee. October of 2024, which required season-ending surgery. And, of course, at the time we showed where he was at on the board. We've showed you an updated version of that now. What do you guys think about Josh Simmons here? On the surface, would you be willing to take him at 23, or do you think this was Goody just trying to get a little bit better understanding of the patella there, Tim?
I don't even know how to answer that question. I just don't, because, and when you hear like non-contact, it's kind of like what I was referring to. So he was probably, coming out of a set or something, stepped, and that was the end of that knee. And, he had the preventative measure type knee braces on even before the injury. So it is a little bit of a concern. I don't think it's enough of a concern to take this guy off your board. I would not be thrilled with him at 23. I would also not be extremely disappointed. And I think if we're going to go O-line, we probably do want to go with a tackle first, if possible, best available, given that I feel like we got a little better on the inside, especially with guys moving around. And the acquisition of Banks from the Niners. So I feel like interior O-line's looking good. I think we'll have good competition with Sean Ryan and probably Jordan Morgan for that right guard spot, and having some tackle depth, especially kind of not knowing, are we going to give Rasheed Walker the bag? Is he going to be is he going to be that guy long term? Having more big body tackles, especially a guy who's a swing tackle, it's kind of rare to play left and right tackle.
Yeah.
So that's a good attribute. And, like you said, man, the strengths far outweigh the weaknesses. So there's a lot to like here. And certainly a guy that's not a 100% project player, but probably a player that is going to take maybe a year or two to really develop, but I don't know if that answers the question. I'd feel okay about him at 23. I don't know how.
Just not crazy about it, right?
Yeah, just not crazy about it.
I got you. What about you, Jake? And or shout out to King Sean, gifted 5 Packer Total Access memberships. Appreciate you, Sean. You're the man, buddy. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah. I'm a little bit scared of Mr. Josh Simmons, whatever you want to say. More so because when you look back at his last 3 years, I mean, it wasn't that great. You look at 2022, he played 13 games. He had a 47.1 grade. He allowed 4 sacks, 3 hits, 17 hurries. 2023, he played 13 games. He was a 67.5. That's all right, but not exactly first round material. 2024, his best graded year, he only played 6 games, obviously because of the injury, and he had a 74.4 grade. I think the biggest thing I like would be, is like Tim said, the versatility where he plays left tackle and right tackle, significant snaps against significant opponents, right? But just for the 23rd pick in a draft class of certain talents at other positions, that one would have me scratching my head a little bit. Just kind of not quite understanding the value at that pick.
Mm-hmm. And again, Dane Brugler said if he hadn't got hurt, he probably would have been the top tackle in this draft. I think Mimbu is probably overtaken him now, is what it sounds like, which we've been high on him most of the time. Where is I've heard it Mimbu and Mimbo. I think I'm going to call him Mimbu because that's what Daniel Jeremiah is saying. He's usually got a pretty good grab of it. We've got him in the 8th spot. So Will Campbell, we've actually got higher than that. Some people say because of the arm length, he's probably going to be a guard. You guys know how that goes. We could argue till the cows come home about that. So, yeah, Josh Simmons is number 3 on our board, but that means he would have been, if he hadn't got hurt, if that did hold true, then according to our board, he probably would have been up around the 8th spot, maybe even the 7th spot on our board in that case. Now, with that being said, with Josh Simmons, the reason we've got him at the 24th spot, like Jacob said, in 22, he was 550 or 562nd in his position. In 23, he jumped all the way to 178. In 24, he jumps all the way to 92. So you've seen a steady increase there in PFF grades in terms of his positional ranking. At the end of the college football season, even after the injury, the PFF big board had him in the 11th spot. The consensus big board had him at 19. Daniel Jeremiah on his first release had him at 30. Kyle Krabs had him in the 8th spot, and Dane Brugler had him at 17. So that's how we got to this point. I haven't heard Greg Cosell say anything on him, so we don't have a bonus there. So that's why he's sitting in the 24th spot. So I think that was more about, let's get him in here and see if that injury, is he tracking to be okay by the time the season starts, would be my guess. And just get a little bit better understanding of that in case he is sitting there and he's the best on their board. With them taking a look at him, I can't imagine they would waste a top 30 visit to get him in to look at the injury to confirm they would take him at 54 because he's probably going to be long gone. You know what I mean? Right. So that's where I'm kind of like, maybe Goody, that would suggest Goody's got a much higher grade on him than we do. Maybe that does put him up there with Mimbo. So, and we know how Goody loves those projection picks, right? Not so much, how did he play in college? It's how are these guys going to project to the NFL? So
I definitely think if Goody goes tackle, first round pick for the 2nd year in a row again, I think it's a really good sign that Jordan Morgan's moving to guard, or at least is going to compete for that right guard spot.
Definitely. Daryl in the chat says, I'm iffy about Josh Simmons. I think we all are, Daryl, to be honest with you, man. That's what it sounds like going across the board here. Sure. So, all right. So there you go. Anything else you guys want to cover on Josh Simmons? Again, I wanted to hit on it because I'm not going to be surprised if they go O-line at 23. I know fans are going to lose their mind if it happens, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Goody goes offensive line there at 23.
I wouldn't be so mad about, like, I really like Gray Zabel, and I think I saw someone in the chat. Maybe it was Coach.
Yeah, Coach Lynn, I think, said that too.
I honestly, I love Gray Zabel just because they've talked about how he's one of those guys that can play center, can play guard, can play tackle anywhere. So you get a Swiss Army knife like that automatically gives you depth at 3 positions. Mm-hmm. That to me just makes sense if you're going to double back a guy in the front in the first round. That is, that to me is more intriguing. You guys know how cheap I am, right? So like the more bang for your buck. That to me, you get a guy that can play 3 positions that in a pinch could be. He was one of the. I think another one where they said, good guard, great. Good tackle, great guard, like awesome center kind of thing, where it's like just plug them in wherever.
Yeah, where have we heard that before, right?
Right. The vibe I get too is no one sees him as a tackle in the NFL. I haven't heard anyone say he's going to play tackle in the NFL. He played tackle in college, went to the Senior Bowl, dominated at everything, right? But they're seeing him as the best center in the draft, and he can play interior offensive line is what I'm hearing now. So with that being said, if they were to bring him for a top 30 visit, guys, he's a Senior Bowl participant. He dominated. Let's go with this before we talk about the gold zone here, okay? Look at how every box across the board is full, okay? And this is what I mean by that. PFF 2022, he was 155th at his position. 23, he jumps to 24th. In 24, he jumped all the way to 5th, all right, at his position. The PFF big board had him at 39. The consensus big board is the only thing that's bringing him down. Him and Kyle Krabs had him a little lower. They got him at 74. Senior Bowl, Daniel Jeremiah said he dominated, so he gets the Senior Bowl bonus, right? Daniel Jeremiah had him at 48 on his initial list. He's probably risen since then, but you guys know how we do that. We stay with the original list. Kyle Krabs had him at 89. Dane Brugler originally had him at 38. That's a lot easier to stomach at 23, Jacob, if you want to go, with that pick with him. RAS, 9+ as an interior offensive lineman. Greg Cosell, absolutely loved him. He's all the way across the board, right? And why haven't the Packers had a top 30 visit? There ain't nothing else to check out there. They got his measurables, right? Yeah. They seen him dominate at the Senior Bowl. I guarantee you that's one that Goody's like, we are not wasting a top 30 visit on this dude because we know he's a dog, right? Now, with that being said, watch Goody bring him in. Watch us get word that they brought him in last week and we didn't know about it, right? So, but again, if he was a top 30 visit, he would not only be in the gold zone there, he'd also have a spade. So that's the only thing lacking. So you got to kind of, again, when you see all those bars full, everything across the board full, that tells you that's a dog. I'll tell you another one right here, Mason Taylor. Look at him. He's got digits in everything across the board as well. Maybe not quite as high, just a 3-point bonus with Greg Cosell and an 8+ RAS, not quite a 9, but you get the drift there. Look at Jaden Higgins, man. Him and Trey Harris have slowly crept up this entire process, dude. Pretty cool. I agree. Jaden Higgins in the 49 spot now and Trey Harris in the 50 spot. Unfortunately,
I could see Jaden Higgins be one of those. He was a top 30 visit, and we find out later.
Yeah.
Names, yep.
Wouldn't surprise me either. All right. That's it for the offensive line talk. I'm glad we got that in because, again, I think it's something we're kind of overlooking. I think Goody will take at least 2 offensive linemen in this draft. I really do. So, With that being said, Jacob, you ready to do this, man? You ready to do your mock draft, sir?
Yeesh.
All right.
Now, what are the parameters? Do I get the final say? Is that basically what this is?
You are the GM. We are your lowly assistants.
And we're going to bully you like everybody else is going to in the comment. No, we're not. It is amazing, though. I want to say this about Kyle Williams, okay? Had a knucklehead in the comments say, y'all are stupid. I cut it off when you passed on Kyle Williams. I don't know what kind of nude pictures Kyle Williams has of all these fans that they think they've got to pretend like he's all of a sudden a damn first-round pick. It blows my mind. I did a poll question. I'm like, I got to know how people feel about this, right? So I did a poll question. I said, Packer fans, which round would you draft Washington State wide receiver Kyle Williams in? 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th? 3rd round led the way at 39.4%. But if you combine 4th and 5th round, that comes in at 48%. So the majority of Packer fans see him as a 4th or 5th round pick, right? Nobody sees him. Very, very few see him as a 2nd round pick, I should say, at 10.9%. So I'm just glad I wasn't losing my mind, Tim, because I'm telling you, we get these loosies jump in here or there, and you think Kyle Williams was damn Jerry Rice 2.0.
Yeah.
He's
when
got
you put that poll up today, I clicked that 4th round button so fast as soon as I read that.
He may end up being a great football player. But
Yeah.
these people that act like he's just dominant, and you go and look, his best game came against 2 Podunk University teams, New Mexico and somebody else, right? He's got 8-inch hands. The scouting report says he needs to secure the ball better. It's just like, I'm not saying he can't be a good pro. I'm not saying he can't be a great pro, but to pretend like what we've seen in college, this dude is just off the charts, blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. So anyway, I just wanted to hit that real quick because that popped up earlier today in the comments. I'm like, I gotta know if I'm off my rocker here. Evidently I wasn't. So
I want to hit this real quick too. J. Cole's comment, if we can, before the draft here. He said, I called it, wouldn't be surprised. The only team that was reported that met with Jaden Higgins is the Steelers. So J. Cole is kind of thinking what I'm thinking here, that maybe we did in fact have a top 30 visit with Jaden Higgins, and we just don't know yet. I agree.
Somebody that's keeping it under wraps, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
think Jay mentioned that a couple of days ago on the show too. He was thinking that. So we'll see what happens. I think he might be right.
I think teams appreciate that too.
Yeah.
That's definitely a positive mark when they have somebody for a top 30 visit and they find out the person didn't send an Instagram post out. I bet they're like, okay, that says a lot. He's just staying under the radar because you would want to get that out and boost your stock. But if a player doesn't do it, I think that earns a little merit with the team. Me personally, I could be looking into it a little too deep. But all right, Jacob, here we go, man. We could trade back. We're going to take it to 23. You could trade back if you want to, okay? Baltimore, we've been abusing the hell out of them every mock. We just take their pick every time. But here we go. Let's start this sucker. There we go. Finally, a realistic one. I seen Cam Ward went number 1 instead of Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, boy.
So, all right. Do you want to look at potentially trading back, Jacob? But on the board, see, look at you and Emilio looking up again. Jahdae Barron on the board here at 14. You got Mike Green at 18, Jahad Campbell at 19, Malachi Starks 21. What do you think here, man?
Can you scroll a little bit down farther for me there, sir?
I sure can. On down, you've got
Corey Horton's still on the board, Jacob. Don't worry.
Omarion Hampton, Nick Emenware, Jackson Dart, Gray Zabel, Tyler Booker, Donovan Ndaraku, Emeka Egbuka.
All right, we are going to try and trade back.
All right. Who would you like to trade back with, sir?
Let's try LA.
LA Rams. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go trade LA Rams. Give up the 23rd for the 26th. And what do you want to try to get back, sir?
I think we can steal 90 from them.
Do you really? 3 spots?
Nah.
Oh, they said no, sir.
All right, go for 101. You'll have to read. It doesn't let you unclick, which is the only thing I don't like about this site.
I know it's really weird. All right, so we're going to go 26 and 101, right? They said yeah.
Put it on the board.
All right, so we're going to trade back from 23 to 26 and pick up the 101st pick in the draft from the LA Rams. All right. Jahdae Barron went.
Ooh.
All right, so there went Gray Zabel too. You're seeing Gray Zabel go first round pretty much every mock now.
Yeah.
Really.
That's an interesting one. Okay.
Jahad Campbell. Sorry, I had something in my throat.
I hope he takes Jahad Campbell just so I can read the comments. I'm going to lay in bed with my phone.
Oh, boy. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You want to see a specific position?
Eldon Grimm, I hate it already. We haven't even made a pick yet.
Honestly, if I was here, I would trade back again if I had to, or if I could.
You want to do it? We'll do it if you want.
Wow, you're not even thinking about like Mike Green or Jahad Campbell at all?
I'm really not.
Wow.
How far do you want to trade back, Jake?
Washington.
All right, so we're going to go for pick 29. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Let's go to Washington. We're going to give 26 for 29. And what do you want to pick up a 4th here or what?
Yeah.
All right, try to pick up 128. They said, yeah.
Wow.
Good.
Jacob Beardenkoost. Look at him go.
Yeah, he's going to come away with 10 picks, ain't he?
All right.
So Mike Green just went. All right.
At this point, throw Egbuka on the board.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Now, people are going, whoa, what are you talking about? Emeka Egbuka, guys, on our board is still in. He shuffled a little bit today. He's still in the 21 spot now. He went from 19 to 21. So I love that pick, Jake. Emeka Egbuka at pick 29. You picked up a little draft capital. Everybody loving it, looks like there. Clint Armchair quarterback said, get another pick. Go ahead, Jake, get another pick. All right, we're going to Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State. I love that pick. All right, pick 54. The Packers.
Hi, Jaden Higgins. See ya.
Well, what if we win Emeka Egbuka and Jaden Higgins?
Oh my Lord.
Packers Twitter would love it. They would love it. I promise you. They'd be all
Yeah,
about it.
up until the day Bo Melton gets cut to keep those
All
guys.
right, best available. That's what you need right there. Jalen Milroe, quarterback out of Bama. Travion Henderson, Benjamin Morrison, corner out of Notre Dame. Carson Schweisinger, Jaden Higgins, Xavier Watts, Darius Alexander. What position you want to see, Jake?
I'm very tempted to double dip and take Mr. Jalen or Higgins. Oh man.
We have not done that at all, man. That'd be different.
I will have to be physically removed from the draft if that happens. I will be so pumped up.
All right. Honestly,
So
just because
pumped
we're having fun with this one, all right?
If that happens, Jacob, on draft night, you will hear me on the live stream go, yeah, where's the Brown County jail? I'll come get him. Come get him. That's exactly what would happen. So, you doing it?
Screw it, let's do it.
I love
Wow.
it. Jaden Higgins, we went 2 wide receivers. That's unbelievable. So Emeka Egbuka at 29, Jaden Higgins.
If you take Torrey Horton right here,
I
swear.
promise I won't take Torrey. All right. I won't take Torrey.
So back
Can I
on the
see
clock at
the
pick
all-
87. Look, H.E. Soder, weapons, tight end next.
Hey, we'll come back around. I'm gonna try to get a Rondé.
Ooh, look at
oh
the
my
best on the
God.
board. Braden
I really
Smith.
like Braden Swinson, guys. Him or Jordan Birch. Which one is rated higher for us?
Let's see here. So we need to look at, you said Braden Higgins, right?
Swinson.
Oh, Swinson. I'm sorry. Let me do this real quick. I got Higgins on the brain. Now I'm so excited. All right, let's see here. Braden. This is why we need Emilio in there. He's big fancy boy in school tonight. 92. Braden Swinson is on our board, and then Jordan Birch is 64. Jacob.
Ooh, can
So
you scroll
Birch-
down?
You want to see them all, right? So
Yep. Ooh.
Wyatt
Three tech.
Malone,
Three tech.
Harold-
Three tech. Sorry. Had something in my throat again.
Let's look at D-line real quick. Deion Walker right there at the top of the list.
I think what I'm gonna try to do is, I think I want to hit Birch, and then I want to come back and try to get CJ West.
Nice.
Okay, so
Oh,
Birch is at 71, right? So he's going to be gone when you pick again. So you're right. If you're going to take him, now's the time to take him. It's good value. At 87, we've got Jordan Birch. Again, what did I say? I just told you and I already forgot.
60s.
In the 60s, right? So that'd be good value. Is that what you want?
I think that's what I want.
Sound like me and Mandy trying to decide where to eat. Where we eating? I don't know. What do you want to eat?
Yeah,
Jordan
let's
Birch,
go-
right?
let's go Birch. Yep.
All right. With the 87th pick, the Green Bay Packers select top 30 visit Jordan Birch, edge defender out of Oregon. Give him an A+. Let's go.
Now
Let's-
here's the guy.
All right. Here we are now. Pick 101. What do you want to see here, Jacob?
Ooh.
I mean, for the people on the pod here, while you're thinking, Wyatt Malone is available, Savion Williams, Kevin Winston Jr., Cameron Williams, Dylan Sampson, Jacob Parrish, Ashton Gelati, Will Howard. There's Anthony Belton in the 95 spot.
Charles Grant.
Charles Grant's on the board.
Okay. Can
Deion
I?
Walker's still there.
Can you pull up cornerback for me, please?
Yes, sir. You got Jacob Parrish, Dorian Strong.
All right, let's go
Zach-
Parrish here.
Jacob Parrish. All right.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. Can we just I'm just, okay, take Parrish. Never mind. I
No,
don't wanna-
no. What do you want to see, Tim? This
What
is
do you want
good.
to see, Tim?
I'm just saying while we're looking at corner, can you pull up scroll down the list
Oh, just scroll down the list. Gotcha.
just a little
Yeah,
bit?
Kobe Bryant, Zy Alexander, Upton Stout, Tommy Hill, Jordan Hancock, Mello Dotson.
Wow. I'm looking for
Who you looking for, man?
my Louisville boy.
He gone.
Quincy Riley off the board.
Quincy
already?
Riley's gone.
Yeah, he's already gone. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's
yeah,
why
take Jacob Parrish.
I feel like I gotta go Parrish or else Dorian, but I like Parrish better than Dorian.
All right, it's your draft, man. We're going to go Jacob Parrish. This should be a good pick. This would be an A right here, I would imagine. A+. Let's go. Jacob Parrish at 101 out of Kansas State. You get your cornerback.
All right. So this next 2 picks, we got 2 within 4 picks. Can we pop open? There we go. Oh,
look at this.
I really like Charles Grant quite a bit.
Charles Grant, Terrence Ferguson, Deion Walker, DJ Giddens, Chris Paul Jr.
Torrey Horton.
You said you wasn't going to.
Where do we have Chris Paul Jr. on our list?
Chris Paul Jr. on our PTA big board is in the 91 spot. All right.
And that's compared to Stutzman, which is where?
Danny Stutzman is a little higher at 88.
Okay. Can you show me interior defensive line real quick?
Thank you.
You get Deion Walker.
Let's go CJ West. I got to go CJ.
You want to get CJ right here?
I feel like he's the last of the true
Let's see where
boys in the middle.
Let's see where Deion Walker is on our board now. Deion Walker is at 107 on our board now.
CJ West is higher, right?
Yeah, I think he'd have to be, right? The only thing I don't like about our board is we put periods in for initial players. So it's harder. Actually, listen, Jacob, I don't want to tell you CJ West's ranking because I don't want to talk you out of your pick. I know you like CJ West. So I'm going to tell you after we pick. Is that what you want, CJ West?
Go back to all real quick, could you?
Charles
all right,
Grant.
Let's go Charles Grant first. I'm going to come back and try to get CJ.
All right. You want to hear where Charles Grant's on the board?
I know where he's at. He's up there, right?
67. That's
yeah. Run that in.
Solid. All right, so we're going to go interior offensive lineman out of William and Mary, Charles Grant with pick 124, another A+.
Nicely done, Jacob.
Best report card I've ever had, guys.
Straight A's. They call me Ace.
They call me Buzz. All right, so can you click on D-line again?
D-line, you got Deion Walker, CJ West.
At this point, I'm going to go CJ West.
All right, CJ West with pick 128. CJ West, defensive lineman out of Indiana.
Wow.
Another A+.
Look at this guy cooking.
Cooking with Crisco, baby. All right, what do you now we're at 159. Jacob, what would you like to see here, sir?
Where do y'all have David Walker? Just curious.
Yeah, David Walker's interesting, man. Because I want to say he was high for a little bit, like high on our board, not high. He's 102 on our board, Senior Bowl participant. He was a captain. The problem, though, smaller school. He does.
What's your wife doing? Which
he does
not.
not.
Torrey, don't listen to. He's gone now, right? Torrey Harden's got to be off the board.
He's
now,
gone.
Right?
He's got to be.
Yeah, David Walker's in the 102 spot, Jacob, but he does not meet the threshold. Just keep that.
No, isn't he a little undersized, if I'm not mistaken?
Man, he played his ass off. It was a small school, but boy, he was
2 years. He was the highest graded edge defender in the FBS. Okay, can you scroll a little bit down there for me, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
JJ Pegues.
I'm tempted to double dip at cornerback. What would y'all think between Za Frazier, Kobe Bryant, or Za Alexander?
Let's see.
Chat, help me out.
Give your opinion there too, Tim. We got
Za
Frazier.
Alexander would be my pick there.
Yeah, we got Za Frazier at
Kobe.
248 is Za Frazier. Za Alexander 122, right? Kobe 125. So it looks like it would be Za here. Za Alexander, I believe. According to our board. Again, you actually know what? Who did I just say? Was it Za Frazier that was higher? Let me see.
No, Za
Frazier was lower.
Was it?
So Za Alexander with 148. Can you go back to can we look at linebacker quick?
Yes. All right. So linebacker. Nick Martin, Jack Kaiser, Teddy Buchanan, Cody Simon, Sean Dolak.
Oh man. All right. I feel like we still have some options at linebacker. I really like Kaiser, like Buchanan, like Simon, like Dolak. I think can we go back to the all real quick? And then
Tez Johnson, Jordan Phillips, Kyle McCord, David Walker, Jackson Slater, Caleb Rogers, Chase Lunt.
Where's Chase Lunt on our board again?
Chase Lunt. Chase Lunt. Ooh, you sure you want to know, Jacob? Sure you want to know? 82.
All right, throw that on the board. I've read a lot of places that Grant might get kicked inside, but I see Lunt as being a true tackle.
Yeah, played a little right tackle too, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
All right, so with the 159th pick, Green Bay Packers select Chase Lunt, offensive tackle out of UConn. A+.
Damn.
All right, pick
Seriously.
198. 198. And let's see here.
Oof. I think. Ooh.
There's Zai. Didn't we just say we liked him?
I like him a lot.
We got him at 122, Jacob.
Yeah, I think Zai is going to have to be the pick for me right now. Can you scroll a little? There you go. Thank you. Yeah, other than I like Elijah Roberts a lot, just because it feels like he can play anywhere.
That was a top 30 visit too, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so.
I just feel like at this point, Zai Alexander is the last of the really good corners that you could argue.
Agree.
I want to go Zai Alexander. I'm going to take that.
Dude, getting the 148th best prospect on this mock of their system at 198 is crazy value, dude. That's nuts. All right, so Zai Alexander, pick 198, cornerback out of LSU.
Okay.
So up next is going to be pick 237.
Well, I know what it is. I know what it is already.
I really love my boy Teddy.
I knew it. Let's
somebody
go.
did
Run
bring
the
up.
cod.
Where do you guys have Teddy Buchanan on the PTA board?
Let's see here. Teddy. He is 186. Meets the threshold. Good PFF grades in 22, 23. Took a step back in 24. Not horrible, but significant step back. RAS of 9+.
So do I waste the pick here? Or do I come back and grab Dolick with?
I wouldn't touch Sean Dolak with a 10-foot pole. I hope you're listening to this, Emilio. Fancy schoolboy.
Because realistically, what I'd like to do here in my brain is end with either a linebacker, a tight end, or another interior defensive lineman. Is what I'd like to do.
Jalen Conyers, I don't know where he's at on our board. Let me look real quick. But I know that Greg Cosell really liked him. They asked him the other day, say, Greg, we hit a bunch of tight ends. Maybe talk about one we didn't talk about, that because they were bringing up tight ends to him. They said, let me go through my notes. He went through and he went, Jalen Conyers. Really like Jalen Conyers out of Texas Tech. So he's in the 144 spot, Jacob. That's probably your best tight end left for sure. They've got him 196 here, so it'd definitely be gone at 237, I would imagine. But
yeah, he is interesting. He graded out pretty well his whole career. He also shows that he had 32 forced missed tackles, which is fourth most by any FBS tight end since 2022.
Yep, 9+ RAS. Greg Cosell liked him.
And he's also one of the nation's best tight ends with a run blocking grade of 80.1. Ooh. All right. I think I like myself a little Jalen Conyers right here.
All right. Pick 237. Green Bay Packers select Texas Tech tight end Jalen Conyers. Surprise. There's you an A+.
What I was hoping for here is either a linebacker or my boy Thor. So could we check?
Let's see if Thor's there first. I think he's there.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah, and he adjusted earlier. When I put in, let me see where he's at now, because he dropped on our board significantly. Let me tell you why. Dane Brugler, Jacob, listen to this, man. This blew my mind. We had him significantly higher, Thor, right? Dane Brugler has him listed in his draft guide as an undrafted free agent.
Wow.
That blew my mind. I was like, what in the world? And I tell you what we could do. What time is it? Oh, we got time. Let's do this. Why don't we do this real quick? Why don't I pull him up? This would be a good little case study here real quick, all right? Does he does not have a scouting report on him, does he? Dadgummit. He just scouted him as a free agent. So I was hoping he'd have a scouting report on him, like a write-up. Let me go defensive tackle real quick and just make sure that he doesn't. Because that blew my mind. I mean, seriously, because we've looked at him like, man, why? This guy's always hanging around at the end of the draft, and then lo and behold, we get here to the week of the draft, and he's dropped on our board. Yeah, he does not have a scouting report on him. I was going to say he's got him as the 50th best defensive tackle.
I just don't get how. His grades, again, from 2022, a 90.5, an 89.2, this last year, an 84.3.
He did not test well, though. Got right, if I remember correctly. Maybe I don't know, it's probably incomplete, to be honest with you. But I know what you're saying, man. And it's been like that the whole time. But like at the end of the football season, PFF Big Board had him at 230. The consensus Big Board had him at 259. And again, Dane Brugler got an undrafted grade on him. So
Pointer Doug says Brugler lost a girl to some guy named Thor years ago.
that's exactly what it was.
So anyways, can we look at that's definitely one where did you guys have him on the board? I forget.
Thor?
Yes.
He's now in the 259 spot after adding the Dane Brugler grade in.
Yikes. Okay. And then linebacker, can we look at that one more time?
Linebacker, you got Cody Simon, Sean Dolak, Jackson Woodard, Eugene Asante. Let's see where Cody Simon is on our board real quick. And if he's
that's an interesting one. He graded up pretty well.
Ooh, he was a captain. He meets the athletic threshold, and he's in the 128 spot on our board.
All
now,
right.
I don't have Dane Brugler's grade in yet, but
Cody Simon has been playing some pretty good talent.
He's got him. Dane Brugler's got a 4th to 5th round grade on him, Jacob.
Here's the guy.
Yeah, run defense grade at 90.6 with a pass rush grade at 80.6, coverage grade at 72.7. I like that. Playing against real decent competition. I think I have to go Cody Simon.
When I put the 128 in on Cody Simon, right, it drops him down a few spots on our board to like 139-ish, something like that, but nothing crazy. So that he holds steady there. Yeah, Cody Simon, I think, is a great pick here, man. According to Dane Brugler, you're stealing him here with the 250 pick. So
I think I like that.
All right, let's see what you get here. A+, Tim. A+. Look at that right there.
I tell you, boys, I feel pretty good about this one. I'm not going to lie.
Solid. I thought we were going to get laughed out of here with the wide receivers going like that 1-2, but
that'll be tomorrow night when I do my draft.
And you know what this feels like to me? This feels like Javon Bullard and Evan Williams again. And remember, we were excited about Javon Bullard.
Yep.
What if this were to happen? Make Egbuka, Jaden Higgins. What should make Egbuka not be a big hit like Javon Bullard was, but like Evan Williams, Jaden Higgins would be the hit, right? You got to double dip if you really want to hit one. So
you know what is crazy too is that if you were to tell people, all right, what's more realistic? Would the Packers draft a wide receiver in the first and in the second, or would they draft a tight end in the second and then in the third? People would probably say, oh, the wide receiver. But we did the tight end. You know, we went Musgrave, then we went Kraft.
Easy.
I'm just saying, whoa.
You should
do what I'm trying to say, though? Like,
no, I got you, man. Shedeur Sanders at 1. So he did go 1. I guess I didn't see it correctly there. Shedeur Sanders went number 1, Travis Hunter 2, Jalen Walker 3, Will Campbell 4, Mason Graham 5, Ashton Gianti 6.
What is going on with Cam
Ty
Ward?
Warren 7, Cam Ward 8, Kelvin Banks 9, Abdul Carter 10, Shamar Stewart 11, Matthew Golden 12. Look at that. Matthew Golden went before Tet. Wow. Matthew Golden 12 to the Dallas Cowboys. Josh Simmons 13. We just got through talking about him, right? Colston Loveland 14, Armand Mimbu 15, Will Johnson 16. So he falls to 16, didn't quite make it to 23. Kenneth Grant 17, Michael Williams 18, James Pierce Jr. 19, Walter Nolan 20, Tet McMillan 21 to the Steelers. Imagine Tet McMillan on one side and DK Metcalf on the other. That's interesting. And George Pickens in there too, right?
With Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him, that'd be crazy.
Derek Harmon 22, Maxwell Harrison 23, Jade Barron went 24, so you could have got Jade. You traded out. Gray Zabel 25, Donovan Ezaraku 26, Tyler Booker 27, Mike Green 28, Emeka Egbuka number 29 to the Green Bay Packers, Jahad Campbell 30, Malachi Starks 31, Elmarian Hampton 32.
Holy crap! The Eagles took an offensive player in the first round.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen. All right, so when you look at Jacob's draft here, with the 29th pick, he went Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver. With 54, he went Jaden Higgins, wide receiver. 87, Jordan Birch, edge defender. 101, Jacob Parrish, cornerback. 124, Charles Grant, interior offensive lineman. 128, C.J. West, defensive tackle. 159, Chase Lunt, offensive tackle. 198, Zy Alexander, cornerback. 237, Jalen Conyers, tight end. And 250, Cody Simon, linebacker. Solid draft.
I like that. I really do.
I'm going to tweet that out like it's mine since it's a good one. And not tell anybody that Jacob did it. Now let's see what people. I want to see what people say about two wide receivers like this. For sure, that's pretty solid, man. I'm going to tweet it out just like I did last night.
That was a phenomenal draft, Jacob.
Yeah, That was a lot of fun.
Good.
Honestly,
good work.
the one that I'm most worried about is Jordan Birch, just because I'm not very sold on him. But I feel like that the ranking and where he's at, we needed to get a decent guy in there in the rotation. But I think he could be a good player.
Yeah, I think you cook, man. I think you cook. Strategic trades, good drafts. This one's up there. I mean, Emilio crushed it last night.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one, too.
I mean, this is right on par. I got some pressure on me when I do my draft, man. I have to do some homework.
So I'm going to tweet it out and say, "Here, you damn wide receivers, Packer fans." That's all I'm going to put. We'll see what happens.
God, that would be amazing, though, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? I'd be grinning from ear to ear.
Dude, if we got Charles Grant at 124, that would be amazing too.
That's
that
what
was
somebody
it.
just said.
That
Yeah.
was. Oh yeah, Eldegrammer. Yep, Grant in the fourth is a steal. 100% agree with that.
What's crazy too is going to Mecca Egbuka and Jaden Higgins, wide receiver. We continue that trend in Green Bay of having that cheap wide receiver room because you're not paying that high price free agent, right? Like you probably patch together a 1-year prove it deal for Christian Watson coming off the ACL. You probably let Romeo Doubs walk in free agency. You roll it right over. And if you hit on one of these guys, you get them on a rookie deal for 4 years. Plus, Emeka Egbuka, if you hit on him, you got a 5th-year option there to play with as well. So, Larry Cano says, "Nice draft, Jacob. The Oval Office taking advantage of multiple EOs for this one." You are the man, Larry. You are the man, sir.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really like that draft, not just because I did it. It's
not just because I'm great. I really like that draft.
Yeah, that's what people tell me.
People are saying it. A lot of people are saying it.
Well, that's it. That was fun. I love doing this. We're going to do this every night until the draft gets here. And I see people in the Patreon group already entering into the mock draft contest. Matter of fact, I might be able to pull that up real quick before we go. I just want to give a shout out.
What'd be fun is if we could get even maybe like Ryan or Baz or anybody, Jake, maybe somebody like that, just to bring somebody else in and have them do a mock draft so we could maybe make fun of them, plus get maybe a little outside. Because I feel like all of us have our guys and all of us know who are like Tim could be like Torrey Horton. He knows exactly what I'm going to pick before the freaking screen's done populating. So I feel like if we had maybe a different little outsider, we could maybe start thinking a little bit out of the box,
Yeah, no, definitely. So again, in the Patreon group, these are the chats we're talking about. Like you got the draft board link, you click in there, you got a link. Emilio's keeping that up to date for everybody in there. And then when you go back to the regular chat there, you get the mock draft contest, you get your favorite prospects, latest news. We got a ton of draft or ton of chats in here that you can dive into. But the mock draft contest so far, here are the entries. Now keep in mind, people can delete these. You already seen a couple messages leave that. People can delete them and resubmit them before 11:59 p.m. Wednesday night, okay? And Paul Grant's already got his mock draft in. Looked like somebody changed their mind and deleted theirs, and they went back with the Do You Rants got one in. He went to Emeka Egbuka with 23 there.
Ooh, I like that.
Chris
draft.
N has got his in there. He went Donovan Ezaraku with 23.
Ooh,
So
look at Torrey. That's a good draft.
whoever most accurately duplicates what Goody actually does on draft night is going to win a free autographed jersey. I think what we're going to do there, guys, it's going to be I'm thinking about letting the winner decide. Do they want a Javon Bullard jersey or do they want a Dontavion Wicks autographed jersey? One of those two. So they're both autographed, I'm just saying. So maybe might just do that. Let the first place, you get to pick, right? And then the second place will be, I think, an autographed card is what we're going to do. It's probably going to be this rookie Bo Melton card that's autographed. So
Right on cue. Just Prince reads my mind. Looks like Melton and Heath out the door with Jacob's draft.
yes, let's give this Bo Melton card away quick since Jacob just drafted two.
Sorry, guys.
But also this Saturday coming up, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Anyone who's a member of the $3 tier in the Patreon group, that's how you get access to these chats, guys. Just scan the QR code in the upper right or go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. We're going to be giving away this crisp Sean Ryan rookie card autographed. All right. That's going to be going to one lucky member of the Patreon group here. And we appreciate y'all supporting the show. Again, it's not about the giveaways. It's about you guys, like I said, helping support the show, keep this thing going. It's just a way for us to give back for those who are giving to us. So really cool. I love what we're putting together. All the articles we covered, everything. You got those write-ups already in. I'm going to do a really cool article where Tom Pelissero put together some key points of like trends he's seeing in this year's draft. I'm going to highlight those. Obviously, Tom put them together. I'll just put them in bullet form, so you get the quick hitters down in that information there. So, all right. Anything else, gents?
No.
Look at
Nope,
my
just
camera.
more props to Jacob for cooking, man. Good work tonight.
All right. Well, I think my beer goggles are on here. My camera's blurry. So,
Jeez.
it might be you guys, might be me. But anyway, what it is, it's just like they do for the draft parties, right? Or the draft room. I don't want them to see the play art in the back on the wall.
Right.
Blur it out as if they can't tell what that is. Right? So anyway. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll have a bunch of other stuff we're going to cover. We'll be doing another mock draft. Tomorrow's going to be Tim's mock draft. I'm excited about seeing that. Expect five
defense.
5 offensive linemen and 6 defensive linemen is what it's going to be, all in the trenches there.
And 4 corners. Let's go.
Yeah. Appreciate you 2-0 for this, man. You're awesome, buddy. Everybody in the chat, you guys are good. Yeah, that's not me, Greg. I think you're drunk, bro. So, sorry. That's why it looks blurry. All right, everybody have a great night. We appreciate you. Hit that like button on the way out. Take care.
And we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.